I can guarantee you that you have a friend who's very bold and very brash. He has the tendency to say the things that others won't, and he can be a little bit out of pocket at the best of times. And I'm almost certain that he has the capacity to say some pretty outlandish things which are extremely effective at dividing crowds. And when we have a friend like that, there's no better person to compare them to than the one and only Joey Diaz. Quite frankly, Uncle Joey is a Cuban-American comedy savage with some insane stories and a tremendous stage presence. But Uncle Joey's comedy is a lot like Marmite. You either absolutely love it or you avoid it like it's the plague. So why might somebody love Joey's stand-up? But before we can determine that, let's have a look at some of Joey's material.
You gotta be nice now. Well, nobody can be honest. You can't voice an opinion. People get upset. You won't be invited to barbecues anymore and shit. They'll look at you all weird. That's the guy that called her a fat lesbian. But he's too fucking nice. And we're faking the funk. It's like when the kid fell into the fucking gorilla exhibit. Who gives a fuck about the gorilla? But the next day, 80 people showed up there marching. Hey, the gorilla. Don't shoot the gorilla. Don't you have a fucking job? Don't you have a life? You have a connection with this fucking gorilla? What's wrong with you people? We don't have good fucking zoos over here no more. You ever go to the zoo with your kid? The gorilla's whacking off. He's got a finger in his butt, smelling it and shit. Go to China. Go to the zoo in China, guys. They fucking got the best animals over there. The fucking gorillas are dressed up like the Beatles. Fucking playing. They're reading fortunes and shit. I hate situations where I have to feel guilty. I'm Catholic by trade, so I always feel like that guilt. You know, you pull up the 7-Eleven, there's always that little fucked up looking dude. You know, he's gonna ask you for money. You know you got $3 in quarters, but you'll be damned if you give this cocksucker a dime. Go out and rob somebody, cocksucker, and you're out here, give me a dime. Fuck you, bitch. I don't give a fuck about giving somebody $3, but fuck, go earn it. Do something, cocksucker. Don't just sit there, can you help me? I'm not fucking really. I was where you were. You gotta mug a motherfucker. Hide behind the red box. You know what I'm saying? Somebody comes out, you hit him with one of those fucking videos and you take his wallet. At least you don't put me in guilt. I'll be in pain. It's a different fucking emotion.
So looking at those clips, I've come up with a few reasons why people may adore Joey's style of comedy. First, we have to look at Joey's storytelling abilities. From the sets that I've watched, this seems to be Joey's strongest trait. Joey has the ability to take you on a journey with his storytelling abilities. Listening to Joey tell old stories feels like you've jumped into a time machine and travelled back in time where Joey was a much younger man. When listening to Joey talk, I can vividly picture everything in my head, scene by scene, word by word. Joey has what I call the grandfather or the uncle effect. He's that one crazy uncle in your very normal family who's lived quite a life, to say the least. Let's say you meet up with said uncle at a bar and then he starts dropping all of these insane stories from his past. Joey does this perfectly and creates a very intimate connection for the listener. When Joey is narrating his stories, he creates a very immersive experience that's filled to the brim with non-stop action. But none of this would be possible without Joey possessing a vigorous anger and intensity in his stand-up routine. While watching his specials, this added to the immersiveness of Joey's stand-up, and this is best illustrated when Joey talks about his experience with Sister Hyacinth.
My mom would scare me with the nuns. She'd go, if you fuck up, I'm gonna send you to school and those nuns will fuck you up. Well, after torturing my mom for a few years, she said, fuck it, I'm putting you in Catholic school. I'll let the nuns deal with you. Sacred Heart School for boys. You went on Sunday and you came home on Thursdays. And the nuns were complete fucking douchebags. Sister fucking Hyacinth was the most evil person that ever walked the fucking face of the earth. And they used to hit me because I didn't like milk. But they would abuse me. If I didn't drink the milk, they'd put it on my head and then bitch slap me like 3 fucking times. These people were fucking savage. And this one fucking nun, Sister Hyacinth, I'm in the fucking 5th grade. I've been there for like 3 years. And between the pain and the fucking low self-esteem and the anger, I was boiling inside. And one day I'm in the fucking Catholic school. There's 2 little twins, they're like half momos. They're fucking crying. I'm like, what are you crying for? They go, my mommy's having a baby. And Sister Hyacinth won't let us call. You know, not for nothing. Get up. Just go call your fucking mom. It's an emergency. And the nun, Sister Hyacinth, heard this. And she goes, really? All 3? Just go outside and wait. That means you were getting the fucking beaten. The bell rings. She comes out. She took the one twin first. Smacked the fuck out of him like 15 times. He went down. She went to grab me. And I'm like, that's your brother. Get in there, motherfucker. Right? And then she grabbed me and started bitch slapping me. I got sick and tired of this motherfucker. So I put my hands up. And she's biting her tongue. I'll never forget this going, put your hands down. Put your hands down. I'm like, fuck you. You gotta work for it. You know what I'm saying? Well, this bitch is fucking me up. So finally she goes, you're not gonna put your hands down and get in the utility closet. That's basically where they fucking killed you, right? And she's like, don't try to tell me. And she's just smacking me, guys. She's just going at it. Bang. I couldn't believe this lady was doing this to me. And at one point, I'm gonna fucking take this bitch out. I started tasting the blood in my mouth. And I started fucking losing it. And I grabbed her by the veil, because that's where all the magic powers are, right? I grabbed her by the fucking veil. And I'm like, don't try to fucking hit me again, you cocksucker. So I just settled on a headlock. You're gonna go to hell. And I'm like, so the fuck are you, motherfucker? And she's like, ah! Call the police. I'm like, call the police. I'm fucking bleeding. And I go, fuck it. Let's call my mother. And one of the Puerto Ricans called the number, put it to my ear, and I told my mom, Mima, la monja me dio. That means the nun hit me. Let me tell you something. Kearney, New Jersey is about 22 minutes from Union City, New Jersey. My mother made it in 8 minutes. My mom's telling her, you want to hit my son? You got to get fucked in the ass and have your own kid. He goes to throw my mom out. My mom goes, listen, he ain't going nowhere. Or I want my deposit back in 5s. That's an old Jew trick, too. It blew their mind. 5s? We don't have no fucking 5s till Sunday. Then my fucking son stays, motherfuckers, okay? A nun never fucking hit me again. That's my story.
Out of all of the specials that I've watched, this episode where Joey talks about his experience at Catholic school was very different from the rest. It made me feel a certain way that the other specials didn't make me feel. And this brings me on to Joey's versatility. Joey is amazing at blasting you with jokes left, right and center. But in this one, Joey took a step back and let the emotional side of the story take center stage. Combine all these factors with Joey's electric personality and you have a comedy style that's very easy to fall in love with. So we've gone over the reasons why people love Joey's stand-up, but what if you're on the other team? What if you're somebody who turns their head in the complete opposite direction as soon as you see Joey walking up on stage? I think this is quite obvious, but it's Joey's dirtiness. Listen, at the end of the day, Joey's a dirty comic and that's just his style, but for some people it may be a little bit too much. Some of the things that come out of his mouth may rub people up the wrong way, and I could visibly see this when watching one of Joey's sets on Netflix. There was a woman in the front row and she looked so uncomfortable. I mean, just take a look at this. I think a lot of Joey's dirtiness is due to his levels of intensity and anger when he's on stage. Some of Joey's bits on stage sound like improv at times, with those little quips before and after the punchline, but when Joey's in his flow and things start rolling off the tongue more naturally, this is where Joey goes full steam ahead and starts dropping bombs. And when this happens, there is no turning back. For some people, this may be a little bit too intense. For some, they may feel like they need a break, like the lady in the front row that I mentioned from earlier. The feeling of needing a break or a moment to catch a breath could be put down to the pacing of Joey's set. As I mentioned before, when Joey gets going, the guy does not stop. No matter how small or big the joke, Joey is always throwing something at you. And for some people, they may need a little bit of time to recover from the previous joke just to get themselves ready for the next one. So those are some of the reasons why people may dislike Joey's comedy style. I mean, I have to be honest, I absolutely love the guy. I love him, his podcast, his stand-up. I think it's all great. But what do you guys think? Make sure you let me know down in the comments. And if you are interested in what Tom Segura has to say about his airport meltdown, then click the video in the top right hand corner. Be sure to like and subscribe. And as always, we will talk soon.